It matches my eyes if I haven't, if I need to go to the bathroom really bad. But yeah, welcome everyone to Fun Friday. John Lavenia here with you. Woo, hooray. Chris wants to see my tie. So Chris, I haven't worn this tie in years. This is kind of a colorful one. Look at this.
Oh,
Huh?
it's almost like an octopus.
Yeah, it's kind of octopusy.
I
Yeah,
like
there
it.
you go. Hey,
Yeah.
thank you. Of course, the first Friday of the month. So with my mastermind group, I like to just do something fun. And since we all work from home and nobody really gives a damn how we look on the internet, we go ahead and dress
You
up a
got shorts on, don't you?
I do. I'm still in my gym clothes. I took off my t-shirt. I put on a button down. Here's the tie. Yeah, and I've got, you know what, Michael, you had to bring that up, didn't you? You had to bring that up. So, yeah, I'm wearing camo.
I love it. Oh, you're my guy.
Oh my
Great
goodness.
stuff.
All right, who do we got here today? We got some fun people here. Oh my goodness, and some new members as well. I see Rose and Amber. There's Ann. Hey, Chuck. We got Kristen here, Bomadelli, Rachel, looking awesome as always. Gypsy, who is that? What is that? Is that a dog or a cat? I can't. Oh, that's a statue. Oh, I see. Very nice. Camel. All right.
Can see
Hey,
you.
Joe. Oh, hey, Rose's daughter. Hey, sweetie. I see you. You're so
Hi,
sweet.
he's saying hello. Say hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Hello.
awesome.
Girl. Sorry, she
Hi.
has to say hello.
Wow, that is great. Good to see you all. Awesome stuff. I see Gary and Rosalie, who is listed on the roster. Hi, Rosalie. Are you in your pajamas? Is that a bathrobe? My goodness. This is formal Friday here. You look great. I can't hear you, but I see you. You look awesome.
yeah.
Well done.
He's turned me on now.
Okay. Very good. Good to
5
see you all.
a.m.
Yeah, I know. You guys are doing the early morning thing. I like to do the
Okay.
early morning thing. Maybe we'll take that up as a topic for today. The early bird gets the worm, or, insert whatever metaphor you like here. I also want to welcome our co-host, Karen. I see Karen. Karen was awesome yesterday, huh? Hey,
Yeah.
Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Oh, I
Give
see
Karen some
someone's.
love.
Oh,
All right. So let me go ahead and mute the microphones and get the show on the road. What are we talking about today? I just had a conversation. Actually, I had a conversation in my mind. I was listening to some audio while doing my activities in the morning, my daily method of operation, which was a little bit off routine today. I was actually my exercise today so far has been nothing more than working in the backyard because we got a dead palm tree. These are the problems of living in Phoenix when we have unprecedented heat. Sometimes the queen palms can't quite take it, and so we got dead queen palms throughout the neighborhood. And so I got one that's being replaced today. So I needed to clear out, some other stuff around it just to give a working area for the guy who's showing up here supposedly in about 40 minutes. So so if you see me run away from my computer, you'll know I'm answering the guy, right? Anyway, but I was listening to some audio, which is a good thing to do when you're exercising or doing other, objective things. And as Michael knows, it's either, going to be extreme metal or it's going to be personal development, audio books and lectures, right? Today it was personal development, audio books and lectures. And an idea came up from this guy who's like a prosperity coach, talking about appropriation, talking about how we have really all the plenty, the supply from universe and from from source, okay, and that's not limited. The only limitation or the only lack would be a lack of appropriation. And I thought this was an interesting concept. A lack of appropriation. What does that mean? That means that if I let's say I wanted to hand you something. Here is a cookie, okay, and in fact I got lots of cookies. In fact, everywhere you look, there's cookies. You're surrounded by cookies. And you refuse the cookie, that we could say would be a very easily observable. You did not appropriate the cookie. So that's what I mean by appropriation: accepting, receiving, appropriating. So now that is my cookie, all right? But you did not say that. You did not appropriate the cookie. So if we got the concept straight, okay, it was something as basic and objective as that. Can we now look at on the bigger picture? Oh crap! It's from Friday. We didn't even get a joke. I'm already into my topic. Guys, I am so off. Hold on a second. Let me give you the topic and then we're going to digress. But can we look at, let's say, something bigger than me handing you a cookie? Can we look at the marketplace and see, oh my goodness, there's 7.5 billion people. Most of them are on the internet. A lot of them speak English. They're all interested in different kinds of stuff. They probably drink liquids, since we're doing this whole human body thing, right? And so can I now exchange with them? Can I appropriate the money, my money, which is right now in the hands of somebody else? They don't know I exist yet, but can I go appropriate my money? Here's the question. Do you have any adverse thoughts about that when I talk about that? Would you accept the cookie from me? Or would you think, oh, I don't want to be indebted to John because now he gave me a cookie. I need to give something to him. Okay. And yes, exchange is what we're talking about. But do you feel like you wouldn't have the opportunity to exchange with me? Perhaps later you could offer me a cookie or $1 or something, right? Or same thing here with the marketplace. Is there something here that makes you think, is it, hold on a second here. Should I accept that money? I mean, if universal source and infinite supply is the truth, and there's no lack except a lack of appropriation, is there some way that I'm holding myself back from accepting my money, which someone wants to give to me in exchange? In other words, do I have a doubt about my ability to exchange? Look, I'd rather be, like, ask anybody, do you want to be good and right? Or do you want to be like some evil, rotten bastard or something? Oh, I want to be good and right. Is it good and right for you to accept that money? In other words, do you know your worth? Do you know the value that you're putting out into the marketplace? Or is there something here that makes you think, oh, you know what? I have to work hard to make money. I'm not working hard by just having somebody click on my coffee cup or t-shirt or something. Is it right for me to take their money? Does anybody have that thought? Well, that's what we're going to work on today. And it's a fun topic. It's a fun topic. It's one that we could talk about for months. But I need a joke real quick. Let's lighten it up in here and let's look at some more animals and stuff. Please, guys, come on out. Michael, do you have a joke for me? Thank you.
Yeah. So one hat says to another, you stay here. I'll go ahead.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Anybody else with a joke or an animal that you want to do a dog show or something? Please come on out. I totally screwed this up today. You know what it is? It's the tie. It's the tie, and it's Chris's fault because she put my attention on my tie. No. Yeah, come on out, Cynthia, please.
Okay, I'm good for a silly pun anyway. Since we all do creative things with type, Helvetica in Times New Roman walked into a bar. "Get out of here," shouts the bartender. "We don't serve your type." So dumb, you gotta go. Okay,
that's great.
Groner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Really.
they're both serif fonts. So yeah.
Yep.
Only
Okay.
a
Oh
writer
wait,
would know
no.
that.
Helvetica is sans serif, right?
Oh, yeah, no,
Helvetica
yeah.
is like an Arial alternative. That's right. Yeah. So sans serif and serif. All right. Very good. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, the serifs are those little things that come off of the font, right? Yeah, there you go, the serifs, right? And so
Yeah.
Helvetica and Arial and others are more sans serif. There's no little serifs. All right, very good. Anybody else something to share with me today to keep it light now that I totally botched our entry into Fun Friday? At least I'm wearing a nice tie. Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
very good. You know what? I've got something for you. Hold on a second. This is one of my dogs. That's
Hi, one of
Jag.
you, dog.
Yeah, Jag is lounging.
Oh,
He is a lounger.
Jag's working hard.
Yeah. Yeah. We got him out of
lounger
the
on a
dog
lounger.
rescue maybe 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh,
He's a good boy.
I have a good dog story.
Okay. Oh, well, hold on. There's Butch down there somewhere. Can you guys?
He's over your shoulder. There, kind of move more. He's kind of behind you. There he is.
Yay, Butchie.
Yay.
All right. Go ahead, Michael. What was your story?
So my dad is a lab tech. Retired, and the neighbors are part of a dog rescue outfit, and they were looking after a dog in transition before it found its forever home. Well, apparently, the dog was one of those from those breeders who have no integrity.
Mhm.
Anyway, she ended up having a litter of like 9 puppies. They didn't think any would survive. So my dad stayed up like for 3 days, hand nursing all of these, and they
Mm.
all survived. And
Wow.
he got to give them all away. And of course, he ended up keeping one.
Mhm.
He's a dog guy. He's like a dog whisperer. He can take any
Ah.
dog that's like super aggressive, want to take your face off, and make it like basically lay down at his feet. I don't know how he does
Yeah.
it. And now my sister has a new dog too. So he saved all these wonderful little puppies, and I'd love to have a picture to show you. But
Very
I thought it was
nice.
awesome to do that.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
Michael. Which is actually on topic. So if we get back into our topic, so here is the dog whispering guy, right? Which I have some of those qualities as well. Not to brag, just I communicate with dogs really good. And so here is the potential for communication. All right, we're talking about exchange, right? And here is recompense. Here's money for the value that you're offering into the marketplace, right? Or there could be a stop with that. Now, some people, based on their own preconceived ideas or whatever it happens to be, could stop that flow of communication and also stop the currents, the flow of, either that exchange, that transaction, or the mental transaction, the communication between man and beast, right? Here's the animal that reacts to people who are of a different mindset than this guy who apparently can telepathically communicate with dogs and do so in such a way where the communication is actually received. This person's not a threat, or the whole sensing of fear and all that sort of thing, right? So we have the ability to get into that flow or to stop that flow in areas which you may assess as being more significant than would you like a cookie or can you talk to the dog or whatever, right? In areas that of significant consequence, like will you be successful in your business? So here's the question for everyone to consider. It's kind of a heavy question. Okay, we're going to keep it kind of light because we can go down some serious rabbit holes here. Yes, Michael, I will enable the transcription. So there you go. All right. I have never used that feature before until Michael started requesting it. But is there something that you believe, and I'm not saying this is the truth, okay, it's just what you believe, and we've all believed lots of interesting stuff throughout our lives, but is there something you believe about yourself that makes you somehow unworthy, or that you would be wrong or in some way unethical to exchange abundantly in the marketplace? My friend Grant Cardone, some of you have read his book, like the 10X principle or whatever he calls it. He has a saying, "Who's got my money?" And that's his approach to it, which sounds, however that sounds to you. Who's got my money? What do you mean your money? Well, he's expecting to earn this amount of money. And where is it right now? I don't know. Somebody's got it. Let me go figure out what value I can now deliver into the marketplace and exchange with whoever's got my money right now. There's no reservation about that. There's no internal dialogue about worthiness. It's already his money. And he's going to go enlighten people now that it is his money. And then they're going to give him his money. And he's going to give them, what they want, right? Which is the product, the service, the whatever the offer is. Does that seem okay to you? Or I could say, is there something about that that doesn't seem okay to you? Is there something about you? Is there something about you that makes you unworthy to that expectantly and that even flippantly exchange with the public, with whoever your ideal target audience is, with full expectation that that's your money already. You're just going to go ahead and appropriate it now. You're going to go ahead and make that real. You're going to manifest that. We're going to realize that, make real. And what did Earl Nightingale say is for those of you who've been through the Strangest Secret, and if you're going through our accelerator process right now, you will meet Earl, okay? But what did he call success? His favorite definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Progressively making something more real. What is that something? The worthy ideal. Worthy to who? Worthy to you. So if there's a question of worthiness, if there's a stop in there somewhere, well, now we got to look at that, because there is no lack of supply. There's only a lack of appropriation. what would stop you from taking the cookie? Is there something so dastardly and evil about you that you don't deserve to succeed here? Look, this sounds heavy because it can be. And people can walk around with these ideas, which aren't true, but they shape your decisions nonetheless, right? You can walk around in your own self-induced mental prison all you like. The source of supply doesn't have a preference about it. It's like, well, whatever you're appropriating, right? Now, for yourself, you got to know that you're doing good and right work and all that. So it can't be a question of worthiness or morality or whatever else. Now, if you've had programmed in over years, decades, generations that, rich people are bad or something, and, it's work, the sweat of your brow, and that's how good and right and honest people earn a living. Okay, then you're going to be limited by that. Is it not good and right and honest for you to gain leverage in your life, to maybe not work so hard, but work smarter? I mean, is this muscle worthy too? Or is it only this muscle? Is it only by the sweat of your brow and working 80 hours a week and whatever you're doing that brought you here, which you obviously wasn't satisfactory? If you were already, rolling in piles of money and in your bliss and whatever, then why are you here? So I could say pretty presumptuously, but probably accurately, that you weren't satisfied with whatever methods you were employing before. And maybe it's been pleasing. You've had some good results and you're looking to add income streams and you're looking to play your bigger game. Fantastic, fun game. Have a game. That's very nice. Or perhaps you've been in a deficit condition and you've been looking for answers, and now you have one. And now you're questioning it. Well, hold on a second. You mean I could actually succeed at this? Oh, wait a minute. Generations of ignorant but well-meaning people told me that rich people are bad and poor is a church mouse. And do I really go and do this? Do I go and get rich? What will I become? What will they think? You see all that internal dialogue, which you may or may not be able to vocalize. Excuse me, but I've studied this stuff for 35 years, and I've become pretty aware of it. Why? Because it was in me. It was in me, right? So then we can get into all kinds of judgments, right? I've got a lot of experience in the business opportunity world, right? And so in that world, there's a lot of prejudgment that goes on about, well, this person here, this prospect or whatever, I don't think they could do the business. I don't think they could succeed, right? Or in the sales world, there's a lot of prejudgment about, here's this guy who walks onto the car lot to buy a car. He's got ripped jeans and looks like he probably couldn't qualify for a car loan. And he wants to look at the $70,000 hot rod. And he's got 70 grand cash in his pocket, but nobody wants to deal with him because of that prejudgment. Lots of interesting stories that we run. So can we hit the reset button? Can we just say, just for a moment, what if it was okay? What if it was good and right for me to go ahead and make a spectacle of myself? Because what's the bigger game afoot here? It's not just about you making money, which let's do that, okay? But what's the bigger game? The bigger game is you now get to demonstrate to others who are sitting there without hope, no knowingness of possibilities for themselves. Generations of ignorant but well-meaning people have taught them how to barely survive. And now here comes you with your example. And you've become what? You've become their mentor. You don't know it. They probably couldn't vocalize that either. But by your example, you've now inspired them to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. I argue that you know what? It's actually my responsibility. It's incumbent upon me to be successful, not to go buy Lamborghinis or whatever. And if that's what you want, go buy a Lamborghini. Fine. Okay. But to demonstrate to others that you don't have to be a victim. I mean, if I could come from the gutters of New Jersey, right, with everything I grew up in, almost dead at age 15, and then be sitting here talking to you now, decades and, millions of dollars down the road and all that. Well, do you find that inspirational? Would I be sitting in this chair? Would I be manning this post if it had not been for, these principles working in my life? And is it good and right? damn well it's good and right. I've helped people make a lot of money. Some people have said and I'm not saying this to brag, please. John, that saved my life. That course, that thing that we did, the lectures and all that. I was wondering what life was about, or is it even worth going on? I didn't preconceive that. That wasn't premeditated. I'm just doing what I know how to do, which is apply principles into my life to an ever greater extent, to whatever degree of integrity that I've developed thus far. But my goodness, did that communication get through? Oh yeah, it did. What if I sat here and said, you know what, I don't know, I get paid a lot of money just to communicate. I got a guy about to come dig out a dead palm tree. That's hard work. And he's going to make a few $100s. And that's it. I'm going to make a lot more than that today. And I'm not going to touch the shovel. I mean, I might go out there and, give him some water and I will go out and give him some water. And if he would like help, maybe I'll go get a little dirty. For me, that's therapeutic. That is therapeutic. I get to go get my hands dirty and touch dirt. Wow. Because, most of my day I'm staring at a computer. Sign me up, damn it. But that's a novelty, right? I'm going to go do some exercise now. And when I've had enough of that, I've had enough of that. But think about that. So this can't be a moral consideration. This can't be you navel gazing and looking at, is it good and right and ethical for me to succeed? That conversation has to be concluded, because the guy who can talk to the dogs doesn't have any doubt that he can talk to the dogs. In the classic book, the one that we've cited several times, Missy, one of our favorites, Uncle Wally, right? Wallace D. Wattles, Science of Getting Rich. Yes, the science of getting rich. There's nothing vague about it. We're going to get rich. That's what we're here to do. Okay, fine. So Wallace says that different people engaged in the same business, virtually the same exact actions, can have completely different results. One gets rich, the other remains poor. Why? The one who gets rich does things in the certain way. In order to do things in the certain way, you must think in the certain way. Certain, not doubt, not I wonder if I'm worthy. Certain way, the way of certainty. That guy can talk to dogs. Grant can go ahead and find who's got his money. Mark can go make $20,000 a month doing something that he didn't barely lift a finger. I mean, he had to type a little bit and do some designs and whatever. Right? Michelle, that house, that car, that whatever it is, right? Is it good and right? Hell yeah, it's good and right. No doubt. So whatever you got to do to sell that to you, that's the biggest sale you can make, by the way. Okay, is to disabuse yourself of anything that may have held you back up to this point and that has stopped you from appropriating your greater good, which is all around you on every hand. I know this sounds like, a spiritual conversation, and it is. And I suppose we can pass the collection basket now if you like. But I mean, why are you here? Are you here to demonstrate another thing that didn't quite work for you? And it must be that thing. It must be the opportunity. It must be the offer. Those people, I'm a victim, right? Is that what you're here to do? Because you could very successfully appropriate that. The law always works. Or we could appropriate something else. I would argue that if not now, then when? And if not you, then who? Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for listening to whatever just came out of my mouth. I had no idea what it was going to be until I heard it. The floor is open. Let's go with Michael, then Missy, then Mark. Michael, you've got the floor, sir.
Thank you. I was thinking about what you said about mindset and understanding and the poverty mentality. When you've lived in poverty your whole life, it isn't a mentality. It becomes a reality because you don't know there's anything different. And in my case, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to let that stand in my way. But I really don't know what real wealth looks like. I mean, I've seen some people have it, and I've seen different people that are wealthy with their big house and that kind of thing, but it didn't really impress me. Again, we're talking, it has to be personal. And I think that until you get to that point where you go, hey, you look back and I got that, I earned that, I did that, then it becomes a reality. And I'm not saying that, my folks didn't give me good values, because it was you work hard and then one day you'll get a raise and you work harder and then you'll get that position you want. And it was all that work within the corporation. It was never go out on your own, and they thought I was crazy whenever I tried to do entrepreneurial stuff. And I started that when I was like 11 years old. They just couldn't understand why Crazy Michael's doing another one of his things because he wants to avoid work. It's like, no, Crazy Michael is going out there trying to find out more potential than having to be stuck within the guidelines kind of thing. But the goalpost never moved. Yet corporations move them all the time. But for us people working, we always see the same result. You work for us, you do what you're told, and you get to go home, and we give you a little bit of money to survive. And then you come back again. And that cycle is just this understood pattern that you have to, the mind says you have to do it because that's all there is. And that's where we have to get off that track and get off the train track and go, no, I'm going to take the road and I'm going to start doing this my way. And it's a big shift to do that. And I'm in that spot right now where, and I know some of the other people are, where again, I want to, but I have not seen that amazing wealth yet, whatever my definition of wealth is. And when I do, then I'll recognize, oh, that's what it is. That's what it looks like. Now I understand what it is to be wealthy in my world. And I think that's, again, it's not that we don't want to, it's we don't have the capability at this point yet, because we have to experience it. Like you say, you've gained and lost millions. Well, you didn't appreciate it until you lost it, and then you go, hey, I made it. I'm gonna guess, but you got there and you actually did it. So until you did, how do you know? When you're 15, in New Jersey, you weren't thinking, hey, I'm gonna be here today, but here you are. And you can look back and appreciate those stories and the things that have happened to make it a reality. I guess that's what I'm saying. To have these things actually move from conceptual, which we have no concept of, to actual reality is the big thing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think, there's a saying, you'll see it when you believe it. Right. So the more you crystallize the, whatever wealth means for you, whatever that demonstration looks like physically and observably, the more readily you attract it to you, the more readily you appropriate that. If you're vague, well, you get to be vague. So I would say keep going down that road and get unvague, and which I know you're doing, right, with camper vans and everything else, right? So see that here, and then you'll see it here. I love you, bro. Glad you're here, my friend. Let's go to Missy, and then Mark, and then Cynthia, and then DL. Hey, Missy, you've got the floor.
Hi, since this wasn't my topic, but since you brought it up, I'm going to say it again because it needs to be said. You literally saved my life, not virtually, literally. And that's all I'll say because I'll cry. But sometimes this topic that you brought up, I almost can't even understand it because first of all, we were not raised that way. My father was a New York City fireman. He worked very hard. He was in the Navy for 43 years. He drove a truck for my uncle when he wasn't working. Never, ever one time did they ever say a bad word about people who had more money or millionaires or anything like that. It just wasn't raised. Just you live in this great country, you can do anything you want to do. And I almost feel like this is the first time I've had this feeling where I can't even understand what he's talking about. It is the most exciting thing in the world just to design these things. And I got a sale yesterday, right before the meeting. And I'm finding out that I'm very good at customer service. People are writing these unbelievable things to me. And I can't imagine anybody in this room having that in their mind. And maybe there's something wrong with me because I can't imagine that. I got other things that I got to fix and get rid of, but that is not one of them. So I almost feel like I'm in a parallel universe. But I just wanted to get that out, that I'm not one of those people. I am ready to, it's not something for nothing. Napoleon Hill or one of them said that we're giving something and we're getting something. So what's the problem? The supply is infinite. Nothing's going to dry up. We're swimming in the wealth. As Karen said yesterday, it's water. And I am not resistant to make it. That's one thing I'm not resistant to any longer, perhaps in my past. But making money, I can't wait. So thank you, everybody, for the time.
Beautiful. Thank you, Missy. Yeah, and we don't all have the same tapes playing in our head, right? So your tapes are different than Mark's, who we're going to hear from next. Hey, Mark, come on out, my friend.
Hello, hello. What came to me was, if you narrow everything down for me, it's all about self-worth. I've been working so much on self-worth right from my teens. And once I understood that if I increase my self-worth, then I'm worth more to other other people. My ideas are worth more. And as T. Harv Eker says, we have to increase our thermostat in all levels, whether it be financial, ideas. And once I tell myself that my ideas, I want to share them, they mean something compared to nobody's going to be interested in my ideas. I don't have anything to share. They're not going to like them. All that stuff that comes up. So for me, it's self-worthiness, and I know I have to put in the work. You mentioned some strategies in the morning: getting up, meditating, working out, doing money activities, all those things throughout the day that I do and we all do to move ourselves to a new higher thermostat level. And it all comes down to self-worth. And if we're going to appropriate all that, appropriate the time, appropriate self-worth, appropriate money, appropriate my ideas, and say, yes, I'm worthy of that. And I deserve $600,000 a year. I deserve $50,000 a month. That will come. The thermostat will raise, and my self-worth will raise, so I can appropriate more. So that's what I want to share. That's what's coming.
Thank you, Mark. And look, you're not new to this path, right, of deliberate thought and entrepreneurship. So really excited to see what you're going to be creating here over these next few months as you get this going. Glad you're here, my friend. Let's go to Cynthia, then DL, then Vernice. Hey, Cynthia.
I so appreciate this conversation, because the thing I've realized over the last few years, I used to have it. And because of life circumstances, I'm in my 60s and I want to know how to open the jail door that I've somehow put myself into, believing that I know lots of wealthy people who've done all kinds of things. I've been an entrepreneur. I was raised by entrepreneurs that are successful. The sweat of the brow thing is very real and has been in my life, but it's not really the issue it used to be, thankfully. The self-worth issue, definitely, I appreciate, but I really had overcome that. But it's like there's this cell door, and on the other side, everybody else can get the flow, get the money, especially relevant to money, because due to some health crisis, we have been more than once, twice actually, once when my husband had cancer, once when I had West Nile fever, sick for extended periods of time. And it's like, I need to open the prison door. Can you help me?
Mm-hmm.
Can you? Everybody, anybody?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we're opening it. Just being engaged in this conversation and being able to see the lie dies in the light of exposure.
Can we share more wins? I mean, I really appreciate everything everybody does, but, being isolated, if you will, I mean, we're not, but, working from home. Can we share, can somebody just kind of go, yeah, I did this, or yeah, this happened. I guess I can see through the jail bars, but like I think it was Michael said, reach through to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Cynthia, the jail is self-imposed, and that's the thing that we've got to be able to put our attention on and observe and just see what is it that we had gone into agreement with, and then go into a state of disagreement with it. It's thinking.
Yeah.
It's the hardest work there is. But right there's success all around you. Missy just posted in the chat. She has 19 sales. Fantastic.
Thank
So
you.
you're just getting started, but it starts right here. Okay.
I know that, that's the hardest part. I've been doing all this stuff all my life, and I'm not trying to hug anybody out of it or disrespect anybody. but I know this, but it's like, why can't I? And like I shared yesterday, my tools that I use. And I mean, yeah, so thank you everybody for sharing your wins, your successes. I'm so thankful for this because this is the key. Thank you.
Well, I'll keep showing up. You're welcome, Cynthia. So glad you're here, my friend. All
Thank
right.
you.
Where did DL go? I was about to bring DL out and now he vanished. Where's DL? Is DL here? Did you want to talk, DL? Poof. He's gone. I guess he lost his signal. Let's go to Vernice and we'll see if DL comes back. Hey, Vernice.
Hi, how are you?
Awesome.
I so enjoy listening to your program every day. I'm not quite sure what to call it, the conference call or something. But what I wanted to state is I'm in agreement with a lot of it is your self-worth, because most of my life, you know what my age is, and most of my life I felt unworthy of being happy, let alone unworthy of everything else. And just within the last 10 years, I started growing more and more and more to where now I am blessed. I feel worthy. I feel like I can do it. And with the help that I'm going to be receiving, I truly believe I am going to make a success out of this. I've always thought I'm not creative, I'm not this, I'm not that. So rather than I'm not, I'm starting to say, I am, and I am going to make a success of this. And it's a learning experience. And for the first time in my life, I truly feel worthy.
Wow. Well, there's something to affirm. Well done, Vernice. And I'm so glad you're here with us. That's Vernice, everybody. And so look, transformation doesn't have to take a long time. Once we've decided, right, we make a new decision, or like we were just talking about going out of agreement with something we've been in agreement with, right? We can go ahead and change our mind, and then transformation happens like that. Okay, now, of course, you know, the act of appropriation, you're going to do the work, you're going to dig the dishes, you're going to chop the wood and whatever. Okay, but that is what you wouldn't do that if you didn't expect to receive. So the expectancy, Vernice, that's what I'm hearing from you. And this is bigger than just like, you know, coffee cups and stuff, right? This is about life. So I am really grateful, even though I was resistant for about a month, to jump in with this group. That some of you heard a little bit of the story of the admin, you know, ringing my phone off the hook and saying, John, you got to come in here with the e-commerce group and everything. I'm like, oh, I'm so busy. I got 4 other businesses I'm working with. But I'm so glad I'm here, because what a great group of people, Vernice. I get to meet people like you. I am so glad you're here. All right, enough with the tongue bath. We've got a few more hands up. DL's back. Hey, DL, and then we'll go to Michael and Kelly. DL, sir, haven't talked to you in a while. How are you, brother? Where's DL?
I'm blessed. I'm right here.
There you are.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good.
I'm driving, so I guess that's the first.
I see
blessing.
you now. There
How
you
you
are.
doing, sir? No, there
Very
you go. All right, I'm here. Amen. A couple of, I'll be quick. My second thing was to the young lady who said that it feel like she's in the prison. And one of the things that you always say, John, I would say, I'm just reinforcing it and encouraging her, is that for the fact that she showed up, that changes everything. Being in prison is only a state of mind. And also we have to, that's not the reason why I raised my hand, but because of her statement, I felt I had to share that. One of the things, you got to start celebrating the small things before you get to the big things. One of the things that happened for me since I joined this program is also putting my goals back in place and reaffirming them and checking them. You know, since I joined this program, I've lost weight. One of my shirts that I wasn't able to wear in a long time, I actually was able to put it on the other day. Now, what does it have to do with low-hanging system? It's not about the cups, as John just said. It's about the whole life. Well, one of the things I teach, because I teach outside of, you know, our program here, is that your whole life has to come into perspective, not just your cups, not just your design. It's your whole life. If you're a bad father but you make great cups, you're not being successful. It's the whole life. So to the young lady who said that she feels like she's in prison, you need to get out now. And you have the power to, because you change it. Whatever failures you had, let it be what it is. It's history. Now it's about the future. So I'm just encouraging the young lady, get out of your prison now. John and everyone, all this call got out, you get out. If you've received that, then you're delivered. Amen. But what I wanted to ask you, John, was about the mindset I heard the young men talking about. Because even with this program or any program or any business we get into, and you're in a greater position than myself, so you can empower us. Being wealthy, I don't believe is in a number. Being wealthy is because you could be a billionaire and still be in debt, right? I believe we need to get the mindset and understand being wealthy is being able to manage what we have and be a success with that. I mean, my grandfather, who was a farmer, who had 2 beautiful red horses, had donkeys, he had cows, he had animals, and he had a field where he grew up. He put 10 children through school, but he was never a Donald Trump. But he did it because he took what he had and he was wealthy with it because he learned to manage it. Some of us on this call are thinking, when I make $1 million in sales, I'm wealthy. That could be to your death. Because if you can't manage $1 million, you're not going to be any better than you were today. The true success of wealth, in my opinion, if I'm wrong, John, tell me right now, the true success of wealth is being able to manage $10. So when I get $10 million, I'll still be a success. If I'm wrong, tell me, John.
Well, prosperity, if you look at the derivation of the word, it has to do with doing well. At what degree? I don't know. The ant who has a piece of strawberry or something on its back, right, and carries its food back to the nest, that would be prosperity for the ant. Okay, a little piece of rotten strawberry for DL would be, refuse, right? Discard that, so the ant could have it or whatever. So then, really, what comes up for me as you're talking about wealth is standards. So are you living with standards that are pleasing and worthy of you? A lot of times when people look at wealth versus their own worth, they again, that question of worthiness comes up. Am I worthy of these goals? Wrong question. Are these goals worthy of me? So whatever your standards are, and if you are with full expectation, manifesting that, then I would call that wealth. Okay, so just like the ant whose standards are nice, juicy piece of rotten strawberry, and DL whose standards are opulence and that life of, not a life of concession, not a life of concession, but a life of prosperity, doing well. And then you mentioned managing $10. Now we're talking about economics. Economy, if you look at what that word's about, that's about the management of resources. Could be household resources, could be national resources. So being economical is not the same thing as being wealthy. You can't economize your way to being rich. Okay. So a lot of times, and this is where I think great topic, DL, and it's one that we're not going to be able to take up fully. But a lot of times people think if I'm just frugal enough, I can become wealthy. Wrong answer. Okay. When we're looking at advancing our prosperity in terms of business and money and all that, one of the first considerations must be expansion, not economizing. Promotion, not retreating into some austere expression of really lack. So huge topic you just brought up, DL. I completely didn't do it justice. I can't. We're out of time, but we got a couple more hands up. But thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here. And you touched a few people with your share today. Thank you, sir. Well done.
Blessings.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Very good. Michael's got another comment. You're welcome, brother. And then we're going to go to Kelly and Karen. I may just run away here for a second because the guy should be here any minute with the palm tree. So just so you guys know, if some random stuff happens, it's not that random at all. Michael, sir.
DL, that was amazing. And when we were talking about prosperity and wealth, and we were just talking about standards, what he said about his dad, that's my idea of wealth. Having that farm, looking after people, looking after myself, giving. And here's the thing, having the resources to get that land, to get that home, to get those seeds, to produce and make things, that's my idea of wealth. Just saying. And for Cynthia, what I want to say is break it down. Everything is a win. Everything is a blessing. Everything, it gives you gratitude. You make a sandwich. You eat that. Wow, God, thank you. This is amazing. And I'm blessed to have this because so many people don't. You know, I got a shower today. I have water. I got shampoo. Wow, I feel fantastic. Everything you do can be an opportunity for gratitude, an opportunity for growth and thankfulness. And so it's all a win. It depends how you look at it. Okay, you're in a prison, but you know what? You're warm. You got a roof over your head. You got a pillow to sleep on. You know, like it doesn't matter where you are or what you do. If you put it in a positive perspective, every little tiny thing is a win. And we often look at these things like they have to be huge. You know, you don't recognize them unless they're big. No, look, take every small thing and add it up. Throughout your day, you're always getting blessed. You're always having wins. You're always having success. And we just have to recognize that. Once you start seeing these things, your life is going to be turned around in a minute, even a second. I'm off the podium.
Thank you, Mike.
All
Thank
right,
you,
Michael, I
Michael.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Fantastic, Michael.
And I do recognize I do gratitude all the time because I am so blessed in so many ways. It's this money thing that is like the hurdle. So thank you, each and every one of you I see in the chats and such. I'm so grateful because, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but some days are diamonds and some days are stones. And so I receive what you guys are saying, and I am so very thankful. And believe me, yes, I am so blessed in so many ways. And I just love hearing your wins, and your encouragement just really does encourage me. I thank you all.
Thank you. Glad you're here, Cynthia. Thank you, Michael. We're going to wrap up with Kelly and Pauline. Kelly, I know you've had your hand up for 3,000 years. It is time for you to speak. Speaketh.
Hello and hi again. It's so nice to be back live on the calls. I've been listening in. I got a new grandbaby a couple of weeks ago, so there's just been a lot of family things. And they named her after me too. It's very exciting. But I love how these conversations always tie into my morning meditation. So this was the content of everything I was thinking about this morning as well. But just a couple things. Something that came when I was reading in Harv Ecker's book there, and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he said, chasing after money doesn't take away the fear. And if people, and it really struck me, and I thought, what is it that I'm really afraid of? Because if I don't know what it is I'm afraid of, then trying to just add more money to my bank balance doesn't take my fear away. And so I think it's just a good question to reflect on for all of us, right? And it's, what are we using to measure our worth? Are we using a dollar value to measure that we're worthy? Or can we wake up in the morning and say, this is my beautiful life. I'm alive. There's a lot of people who are now on their deathbed who don't have that opportunity, right? The very fact that we're alive, all those things, all that gratitude, all that kind of stuff that can help us have that perspective. And Cynthia, I just wanted to say, for me, and I look at, I've had a lot of health problems too, and it does shift your perspective. But I've found, for me, taking this money journey is like climbing a mountain, and it's about transformation and about learning a different part of ourselves. You know, it doesn't have to be about whether we're good or we're bad. It's just about walking up and over something. So if you're recovering from health, it's the same kind of thing. The money journey is the same thing. Last point, John, thank you. You are truly a gardener, and you are gardening us as people in transformation, and you are helping us grow as people, as entrepreneurs, and helping us grow our dreams and get back in touch with our dreams again. Yeah. So 3 cheers to you, John. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you all for being here. Karen, I do have to hand the controls over to you. I'd love to hear Pauline. Guys, play nice with Karen. I'm going to see you back here on Monday. Okay, I do have to go right now. I'll see you guys real soon.
No problem. Pauline, let's hear from you.
Yeah, just a quick one. Thank you all.
really encouraging. I just basically want to just say basically to Cynthia that everything that is being said here, all the teachings and all the books and the resources we've been given to read, these are the keys to actually unlocking those gates, those bars that has been around so many of us for a long time. So we've got the key, and it's all here. So just encourage you, it doesn't matter that you're not seeing but at the moment, but you can visualize it. It will come to pass. So that's what all I have to say. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Pauline. Thank you, everyone who
Thank you,
shared.
Pauline. Thank you.
Fun Friday, everyone. And this was a fantastic topic. And of course, it touched so
Thank you,
many.
Pauline.
So always great to hear from all of you. And we'll reconvene on Monday. So I look forward to seeing everyone here on Monday. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for
Hi,
being here.
everyone.
See you
Thank
soon.
you, Pauline. Thank you,
See you
everybody.
soon. Thanks,
Blessings.
Karen.
Bye.